scripted.
Okay.
Okay.
Manahole Madness. My husband's taking the lead.
Oh, we're doing it now.
Yeah, right now. Right now.
There we
Raw.
go.
We always say raw and real.
Raw and real.
Yeah.
Okay. No.
This is how you know it's not scripted. She never even know that we was going on video.
No, I don't know.
So it's going on our YouTube channel.
Okay.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. We want to introduce our special guest today, Nani Peterson, awesome leader in Waianae Coast, and also someone that we're working with our paralegal postal litigation classes and whatnot. And she was in court today, able to do her thing. So I was just like, Nani, to be able to take it away and just express yourself. How you feeling about your court cases? How you feel about the work that we're doing with you and all that, and whatever. How does it compare to what you've done in the past? All that.
Speak
Whatever.
it in Olelo and then
Yeah,
translate.
yeah, there
Oh
you
my
go.
gosh.
Give
Put
it.
pressure on it right now.
That's the strength that she gets.
Yeah.
She can do it in Olelo. So
Yeah.
go ahead and rip up, God. Set the record straight in Olelo.
Mahalo kalahui Hawaii. Mahalo kako pakahiapau. Thank you. Mahalo Premier Paralegal. No ko uluana. Yeah. Yeah. So real quick, I'll go back and forth between Hawaiian and English. Yeah, just shouting out mahalo to especially you guys. Mahalo to the Lahui for being here. Mahalo to the leaders of before that actually allowed me to see what stepping stone I need to walk on, the path that I need to walk on for me and for our Lahui. And so mahalo to Daman and Aiko, especially for like being there. I wish I knew you guys from day one. I wish I knew you guys. Like I get what I said, 2 to 3 rap sheets long. Yeah. My
So you
jacket
got a
is
long
long,
rap
but
sheet.
all in the same manner. My situation stems from standing firm in my understanding of the truth of Hawaii and where we are as far as our independence, as the continuity of our independence, the continuity of our government, of our sovereignty, of our language, of our culture, namia apau o Hawaii ne, all of the things Hawaii. Yeah, and so prior to meeting this beautiful couple, I stood firm in the courts, being the angry Hawaiian, you know, sharing with the actually not even sharing, yelling at the courts is what I remember. Show me the treaty of annexation. You don't have any jurisdiction at all. And so there was a lot of anger, and there still is a lot of anger within a lot of us. Today, after all these years, I can stand confident in speaking my truth using their laws.
Right.
Yeah, because I learned through Premier Paralegal that
Po mana pono. Yeah.
I learned that it's their house. Their house is on our aina, yes, but it's their house, and in their house is their rules. Yeah. And so I'm all about trying to be pono in every aspect of my life, no matter what direction I'm going to. And so it was hard to be pono at first.
Because a lie is a lie, no
because-
matter how much you try to say it's the truth, right?
Polale, and because I hold, like everybody else, holding on to this, the truth that is of us, but also the trauma that all of us have been going through, and still continue to go through. Yeah, and so today I can say that kupa'a no ha'ivo, I'm clear about what I need to say, how to direct the truth in this matter. I'm confident in even more confident every single day that I step foot in those courts. Don't get me wrong, I get nervous still.
Mhm.
Yeah, he Kānaka, yeah, I'm just a person, I'm a human.
Yeah.
I get nervous, But as soon as I step foot in there and I sit on those chairs and I remind myself of what Dimon, what Kalai and Aiko has been teaching me and sharing with me, I'm able to relay that message in a way more confident and pono way than ever before. And so I just mahalo you guys, I mahalo nui for believing in me and for directing me and for just standing with me even in the courts
Right.
as we go through this, because it's not for me
Right.
only, yeah, it's about all of us. It's for all of us to open up the eyes to our Kānaka that we can win
Right.
these cases that we haven't been winning before.
Right.
And so
Utilizing their own rules and their
Yes.
own laws
I
to beat them at their own game.
And she's doing every single court case in Olelo, Hawaii
That's
with an interpreter.
yeah.
I love it.
Ai, he hoa o ne ale noho I pueko loa. I'm not like a fluent. I can hold a conversation. I can
Mhm.
speak. Yeah, but there's a lot more things that I'm learning as I go, especially in these courts, because there's words that we've never used before.
Yeah.
You know, and so trying to look at the perspective of kupuna ike and what they would use, how they would say those words, and what it means. And so just building that confidence in that, because I never learned Olelo Hawaii. I wasn't brought up like a lot of us with learning the language, because our parents and grandparents were reprimanded for it.
Right.
You know, and so and I share this all the time, the most I knew, aloha, mahalo, ahiho, you like pa'i.
Yeah.
I know those.
Those were like the more common words that was used when I grew up. And so I'm still learning as I go. But it's important for me anyway, because I understood Olelo in my latter years when my son was in preschool at Punanaleo Wai'anai, that allowed me to look at our words in a different way, look at our surroundings in a different way, and look at how I hold myself in a different way
Right.
through the words that I'm speaking in Olelo. Yeah, and so, yeah, it's not easy. I fumbled a few times,
So right.
but you know, it's a must.
Yeah.
It really is a must, for all of us to start little by little. You don't have to be one
Yeah.
proficient language speaker.
Overnight. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to. But the more you start to speak the little words that you know, aside from aloha, mahalo, ahuiho, yaipa'i,
Right.
yeah, you start to imagine and wonder, why did our kupuna say this word the way that they said it? What was the bigger picture, the deeper kauna, the hidden message of the words and the paraphrase, the olelo no eaos, the proverbs that they've used? There's lessons in all of that.
Right.
Yeah, and so I got that. Okay, so when I was working at Punanaleo Wai'anai, one of the leaders at that time, and I think he's still with Punanaleo, Aha Punanaleo as a whole, Kaho'okahi Kanuha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And so
that's
he,
my brother right
Yeah.
there, boy.
and so
Yeah.
I hear him every single time telling
Yeah.
all of us, my makap, don't be afraid.
Right.
Mai makao I ka olelo Hawaii ma'o a ma'anei. Right? No ka mea o ke la ko ka ko olelo makua hine. Yeah? Don't be afraid to speak the language everywhere, here and there, because that's our language.
That's right.
Our language. And so from then, like that gave me and he did that in court as well.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
and that gave me the drive to like, okay, I can try. Yeah, and I tried, and it was empowering. The very first time I did it, it was empowering, and even at that, I wasn't even like fluent yet. I was just baby steps. But
Right.
hey, a'ole pau ka ike ka halau ho'okahi. Not all not all knowledge is learned in one space. Yeah, and so that
Right.
was my stepping stone to learn more. how
So,
I can be more confident.
along those lines. So now you're doing this in a court system, and the we had Kaleko Kael do his thing, and that drew the ire of the judge. He never liked the fact that he was doing that, and then even the judge had to get reprimanded because, as you know, by a judge telling you, hey, Hawaiian is the first language of this land. Judge Hayakawa acknowledged that.
Yes.
Now, because Kaleko, what he did was he didn't go break that glass, right? Where there was only not they don't even allow Hawaiian in a court system. That's the last place right there that we gotta go. You're in the last place. Once we able to get Olelo Hawaii to be a dominant practice in the court system, then we're gonna start to see the changes that we need. Because this is my question: how is a judge, a jury, a prosecutor able to run on trial against a Kānaka who is speaking Olelo Hawaii when it's a murder case? What they gonna do? See, the translation there today wasn't for you. The translation that was done today was for them, because they don't know what you're saying. So what Kumuhina was able to do today was to just simply convey your presentation to them, to allow them to evaluate what you say and respond that way. And this is opening a whole new door. A whole new industry is being built right before our very eyes. And that's what I love about the work that you're doing, is that you're taking the leadership to go do that, which is sorely needed. You know what I mean? Because when we get back to our language and start running things based on our language, everything gonna change. You know what I mean? And so what comes with the language? The mindset. You know, the cultural aspects. Everything that who we are as a people will come back because of that.
The perspectives.
Yeah. And that's why I love working with you, that you're able to grasp that, and then learning within the confines of the political structure that's in control right now. You notice I said the political structure that's in control right now. Right
now.
You know? Okay, you're in control, but I get to be me. I get to be me, and you don't get to tell me I cannot be me. You know what I mean?
Sometimes it's again because we have so much trauma.
Yes.
It's like, I remember stepping foot in the courts and just again being so angry.
Right.
You know, and that's not me.
Right.
But learning, trying to.
I'm not angry. I'm frustrated.
Yeah, I'm frustrated.
You're not hearing me.
I'm traumatized. I'm holding on to all the hurt from all of my kupunas that came before me that did the same thing.
By the way,
you know?
I like to make a note. I just did a whole vlog about the healing from the past, the traumatic stuff, and she's talking the same language. So that, you know, two people talking the same thing that never talk about that same thing. You know, obviously that's a thing. Right?
You know,
that's
it is. It's a big thing, I think, that's holding us back.
Right.
You know, yes, we are entitled to our trauma. We're entitled to our but I've learned through you folks, like going through these courtrooms, that's not the place for it. That's definitely not the place. Like there is, and it's not necessarily a thing. I don't think, for me anyway, I don't think that my kupunas would react in the way that I acted before in those courtrooms.
Right.
You know, and so I'm starting to see, and again through the language, through Olelo Hawaii, I'm better understanding and equipping myself with how to act and react and stand confident in these courtrooms.
And it'll only grow from there. You know, and you know, so me, I have a personal saying that there's no greater honor you can give another person than to speak to them in their own language, right? So, you know, I'm speaking to you, Judge, in your own language. And what language is that? The law.
Right.
That the law is the language in the courtroom. Okay, so I'm learning to speak to you in your own language. And guess what's gonna happen when I do that? When I do that, I'm gonna be able to convey the ideas of why you should be ruling in my favor and not them. And if you don't do them, then no worry, because I'm gonna appeal your decision anyway, right? Because you're not the end all.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
and with that's how we'll be able to take back our power. Because they're not gonna be able to run this game for too much longer.
Yeah.
You know,
Not with us awakening.
yeah.
Even more and more. And
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
easy for them to do what they do when we just out there yelling.
yeah.
When we're out there yelling and ranting and raving about all kind of nonsense, easy for them to shut it down.
And not even the yelling. Like when we sit in the courtrooms and we see all of our Kanakas like just being submissive to what they say.
Right.
You know, you're fine. Oh, you're gonna go
Yeah.
jail. Oh, you're gonna go
Yeah.
do community service. And I'm like,
Thank you, Your Honor.
yeah, that's all they say. Yes, mahalo.
Yeah.
Like, frick, mahalo.
Thank you for
what?
giving it to me, my ass.
Mahalo. You mahaloing them to give you
Yeah.
more stress in your life. Wow.
Yeah.
How's
Fight.
that for
Fight.
them?
Did
Yeah.
you see the
Fight the righteous fight.
attorney
Yeah.
and the prosecutor talking today?
Yeah.
You saw
Right
that?
out in the open.
Right there.
Right on the open. He said,
Yeah.
"Is there
Yeah.
any
Wiggle,
wiggle
wiggle
room?"
Yeah.
I looked at him
You
and
see
I
it?
was like,
Cutting deals right in front of
Yeah.
everybody.
out in the open.
Yeah.
like,
Whose side are you on, bro? You
Yeah.
defending this person. Now, of course, his client wasn't even in the courtroom.
was,
Yeah.
but she
Oh,
was
she was
on
on the
Zoom.
video.
She was on Zoom, but
Yeah.
she wasn't in the
But
courtroom.
yeah, he wasn't addressing her in the
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah, and he just made the decision up for himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Without conversing with his client first.
Yeah, and so mahalo for bringing that up because like standing pro se, like you and watching,
Yeah.
watching these defense attorneys and prosecutor
Yeah.
attorneys,
All
like
body.
they body and then they divide
Yeah.
and then they body, you know, and it's
Yeah.
They
like
help each other.
yeah, they help each
So
other continue
whose
to have
whose interest was the defendant's lawyer?
himself,
putting
if
forth.
anything.
Yeah, right?
As well as for the fake state.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, and what good is that for us as
Yeah.
a people? That's not, you know. And so again, like mahalo again. I cannot say mahalo enough to you folks to help me to be more confident in standing up on my own because
Right.
really they're all working for the state.
right,
They're all working in cahoots to keep us oppressed and oppressed.
right.
You know, and it's about time that we stand up and do it for ourselves because if not, who will do it?
Yeah. And I say it all the time. Ain't nobody out there to save us but ourselves.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Once we understand that, then we gotta get off our ass and go do them.
yeah.
But
Right.
how you do them?
It's important.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
important because it'll determine whether or not you're gonna continue to catch cracks,
Yeah.
or they're gonna like today.
Like the two.
Today they made you last. Why? Because you're the troublemaker. They know from the last time. Oh, you know, we gotta put her in our
I'm
back.
telling you, I was stressing because they started and I was texting both of you. I was texting him mostly. And then I was like, okay, they went with the two cases with the interpreter. And the last time we went, right, they said, Hayakawa said, you know,
They
just
take
so
the
you guys know,
interpreters
we
first,
do
yeah.
the interpreter cases first, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, oh my gosh, they're going to call you. And I
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
want any like negative marks
Right.
against you. Like, oh,
Right.
where she say she's not taking it serious, you know?
Right.
So I was trying to, at one point I was just making dot. I was sending him because I was hoping to buzz.
Yeah.
You know, and he'd pay attention. But then I was thinking, how come they're not calling you? And then when you said that was the same prosecutor from that one time, I was like, oh, that's why
Yeah.
Yeah.
they don't like deal with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
But-
was the same prosecutor that was trying to give me the
Yeah,
runarounds when I
yeah.
went to
But-
their office
Yeah.
to demand
Yeah.
what they told me. Okay, we have your discovery, we have your CDs ready. Come and pick it up when you're available. I came. Oh, then mom. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm not leaving until you give me what you said because I came all the way from Waianae.
Right.
And you will give me what you told me you had for
Yeah.
me for my defense.
Right.
You know, and so yeah, don't let these people dick you around. Is what I'm saying.
You know what's gonna happen? I'm gonna tell you what happen. If everybody start catching on what you're doing, you guys gonna change the entire way that the courts do business. Because right now it is a business.
Yeah,
It is a bit. They
Right.
run 30 people
I,
in, like, they get on schedule for between
Yeah.
9 o'clock and 12 o'clock.
It was going really fast before you guys came in. Like super
yeah,
fast.
I noticed that
You see?
Judge Iho was just dismissing everything.
Yeah, she was, you know,
She
she's
was-
really fair though. And
yeah, she was.
before you guys came in, there was something that the prosecutor wasn't ready for. And she was like, okay, I'm going to dismiss this case, you know? Like,
Like I ain't got
she's
time
not-
for you for your
yeah,
stupidity.
she's not playing around. Like, okay, you're trying to prosecute this person. If you're not ready, then I'm dismissing it.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. So,
Yeah. And so when more people start to learn to defend themselves and not just take it in the ass, but actually stand there and defend yourself, you know, there's a chance that you can prevail,
yeah.
right? And but I can guarantee one thing, and I said this before: you will always lose if you don't fight.
Yeah.
You're always gonna lose,
Yeah.
right? But if you get in there, hey, you might catch them,
Yeah.
right? But you gotta be able to get in there and do it, and you're doing it, sis. And I feel more confident and proud of you for what you're doing because you're the one that's there. I'm not there. You're the one that's there, and you're the one getting people when they see you coming. You know, those guys probably gonna come back 2-3 times, and they go, hey, watch her,
Yeah.
watch her, watch what she
You
do.
would stand out. Because we have a couple cases too where we go and sit with our clients and they're like, we're like, hey, that lady was here last time. Remember she did this and she's talking to the judge like this, you know? People
Yeah.
stand
Okay.
out.
And then the thing gonna grow.
Yeah.
And then what's gonna happen is gonna come to one bubble where something gotta give.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if we're at the table, then we're relevant to the conversation on how
Definitely.
how that change occurs.
We are relevant at every single table, and we need to be at every single table.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we love it.
Yeah.
Tita is home.
Again, I just mahalo you folks for instilling what I knew not of, in me so that I can hold home.
Right on.
Yeah, and so whoever's watching, if you're watching right now, like look to Premier Paralegal. I hope I'm saying it correctly.
Yeah.
Premier Paralegal Services
Services.
is the business that you hired us to write the legal and business documents. Ho'omanapono is our advocacy arm that we use to advocate, educate, and empower our people to be able to be relevant in this society. So
Yeah,
making the
couple,
move.
find them, and work with them because that's what they're about. You know, trying to empower our people, to be confident moving forward and winning. What hasn't been won for freaking long time? You
And
know?
it's students like you that he gets all proud educator
Hola.
moment.
Mahalo, mahalo.
I love seeing
Love
the
my
growth.
All right.
He
see you,
la
babe.
la bao no
Alright.
ku'ukumo. That's the last thing I'm gonna say. He la la bao no ku'ukumo. I am just a branch of the source of the ike that is given to me.
So am I. So is I.
Ew.
All right, love, peace, and happiness, y'all. We out of here.
Yako.